And we are back with another episode of From the Rafters. Sam and I are here at the All-Star break for the Celtics, and they've won four straight, so I'm feeling pretty good. How are you feeling about the last four, Sam?
The Celtics are back, okay? If you think differently, you're probably wrong because all the things that were wrong with them are not an issue now. It's not like they were playing poorly in terms of like the skill, the play style has changed for
Hmm.
the better. And that's a big thing. It's not a fluke, it's not, it's obviously not a one-off. We just saw them rip off four straight wins. They beat Indiana, who's a solid team, the
Hmm.
Wizards, who are on fire, the Clippers, who are good. Even though they didn't have Kawhi, they had Reggie Jackson ball out, so that offsets. And then they beat Toronto, who was a skeleton crew yesterday. But it might have been the biggest test of the homestand because the Celtics love playing down to their competition, and they beat a undermanned team. So shout out to them, man.
And Toronto, may I add, was unconscious from three. It was frustrating me in the first half because like Chris Boucher, Norm Powell, they weren't missing. And then Kyle Lowry had what, 19 assists? So it's not like they had a bad game. They played well for the crew they had. The Celtics just put it to bed like they should have. But shout out to my man. I want to talk about him quick. Grant Williams, man. He doesn't play and he comes in, he balls out against the Raptors, right?
Yeah, that's crazy how he can just go games without playing, comes in, still has the 3-point shot, which has been excellent ever since he missed his first 25 of his career. Then he comes in, makes some hustle plays, a couple of big offensive rebound putbacks. Um, he made some big shots in that game where they kept the Celtics in it when Toronto was red hot, and he helped them ice the game with some big plays down the stretch. How about that, huh?
Hell yeah. Season high 17 points, four rebounds, a steal. Every single player on the Celtics who played 8 minutes or more scored in double digits last night, which was really fun to see. And something we haven't seen a lot all season because I feel like a big storyline this year is okay, get the Jays more help. Four bench guys scored in the double digits. Jeff Teague 14, Pritchard and Rob each had 10, and Grant had 17. So I don't think it's something we can expect moving forward, like consistently. But how big is the bench being this good for like the ceiling of this team?
I mean, it's really important because we've been saying they need more help, and them having more help um, helps. But maybe this isn't a fluke, Jack, because we've had this discussion many times, whether it's on the pregame, on this show. The bench hasn't been inefficient. They're
Mhm,
just seeing more chances to score because the ball's moving.
mhm.
So this is going to be probably a chain reaction. You're going to see they had a couple good games over this stretch. I think the bench has been really good. And now you've got confidence in those guys. Whether the statistics said it before or not, it didn't matter because they weren't getting the opportunities. But I mean, Peyton Pritchard, every time he shoots, I think it's going in. Grant Williams, every time he shoots a three, I think it's going in, believe it or not.
Love it.
Let's see who else. Robert Williams almost never misses because
Instant
he takes
offense.
shots around the rim. Jeff Teague has been better,
Better.
which is
6 or 7
good.
last night.
If he
Really
can
good.
keep this up, then he's going to be a real impact player on this team.
Jeff Teague
And
didn't miss a two-pointer last night, Sam.
yeah,
He
he
didn't
was
miss.
making floaters and stuff. If he figures that out, he can be the player that we hoped he would be coming into the season and that we got to see a little bit in the preseason and game one, I guess. But
Yeah.
since then, he hadn't done much. But if he's able to be consistent like that, the holes in this team that people are saying need to be filled are being filled by guys on this team already.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
great.
and then let's get to the starters. Jason Tatum, better. He closed out the Washington game basically by himself,
Mhm.
not to knock on any of the other guys, but he was the offense in the final minute of the game to give him the win. Who they played? Clippers. Kemba,
Mhm.
excellent
Yeah.
player of the game for sure. Certified pimp of the game, if you will. That's an inside joke. I'm trying to get that over, and it'll never happen. But and then okay, so last night, which is Tatum, probably the best I've seen him play this season. Maybe
27, 12, and 5.
not
Mhm.
even the numbers, the efficiency. 60% from the field. He was
Yep.
making some tough shots that he'll take a lot, and he doesn't make. And he was making them when it counted. The Raptors were trying to come back. They did a good job. They got it to three or four and he made dagger shots over tough defenders.
Mhm.
He hasn't been doing that And that's why they have been losing games. He has now figured out whatever was wrong. Maybe it's being an all-star starter. He's got his confidence back. Kemba Walker has confidence back. Jaylen Brown has taken a little bit of a step back, but that's fine because the other two are stepping up, and he doesn't need to be the powerhouse takeover guy that he was, even though there's going to be moments where that's important.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, it was really enjoyable to watch this last week and a half.
I feel like this Raptors game was a blueprint for the way the Celtics need to win basketball games in the future. Jason Tatum 27, Jaylen Brown 21, Kemba Walker 15. Outside of Daniel Tice being injured or something being wrong with him, I still don't know exactly what happened. And then the bench scoring, tons and tons of points. This is the way the Celtics need to win games. Outside of on the offensive end, I should say, because the defense was, you could say it was lackluster, but I feel like like they were
It's
making
probably a
some
little bit of
ridiculous
both, Jack.
shots. Yeah, the Raptors were making some tough shots. Celtics need to close out a little
I mean,
more,
how
but
many open looks did Chris Boucher get? I mean,
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
him being on fire, even though he was. It's just they weren't covering him on
Mhm.
the pick and pop.
Yep, Terrence Davis was on fire. Norm Powell was on fire. Stanley Johnson had 14. That's unacceptable. You
And
can't.
I feel like this is all going to change defensively. Marcus Smart will be coming back in the coming weeks, whether it's game one or game two or game three after the All Star break. He's supposed to come back soon.
Mhm.
Romeo Langford is supposedly close. Will he ever play again? We don't know because he just has been a mystery all year. They haven't been saying much at all. I don't know why they do that. I wish they didn't do that. They're very, very mysterious about guys that are injured. Maybe it's because they don't want the guys to feel rushed to come back, but it would be nice to have some kind of update.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I've heard, I forget where I saw this. I've heard that Romeo could be back before Marcus. So I'd expect them both relatively soon after the break. If I had to guess, I'd say Romeo is in like the first week, maybe week and a half, and Marcus Smart at the latest will be 2 weeks deep after the break. So this is just complete speculation. I have no sources. Don't listen to me if you're listening to this. I'm making this up. This is a guess, but yeah, I hope they're both back soon. I think Marcus is going to be huge for this team. I've seen people on Twitter and like respectable people on Twitter, I can't, again, I forget who it was, but like say that Romeo Langford will be an important piece to the Celtics team, even though he's barely played in his year and a half here. I'm expecting big things from at the very least Marcus and hoping for the best from Romeo. And then I just want Grant Williams in the rotation from now on. This is my Grant Williams pitch for, normal rotational minutes because I don't completely understand why he wasn't playing. They were winning some of the games, they were losing some of the games, but hey, he comes in, he plays real minutes again, he scores 17. Can't really argue with that, but yeah, I mean,
I don't
what?
know what the problem with Grant's been this year because he's getting a lot of DNPs, and I personally am not a film. I don't really pay attention a whole lot to what guys are doing that doesn't that gets them yanked from a game, I
Yeah.
guess, unless it's like glaring to me, like Jeff Teague was for like the longest time, where he was just not doing anything good. And now he's fixed it. I don't know what Grant was doing that was so bad. I guess people say his defense wasn't great.
Yeah, he was getting blown by a lot, and he fouls a lot. I'm pretty sure he averages more fouls than rebounds, which is not a great stat if you're trying to get minutes, but he's picked it up a little. He even fouled a couple bad ones the other day against the Raptors, but he just needs to be better at defending without fouling and not letting guys blow by him. But I think it's tough, which that's a big frame. That's just got to be my theory, but yeah, I'm glad he made the most of his minutes the other day. But I want to move on to the news of the day. Happened
All
right
right.
before we recorded.
It is Friday. You probably aren't hearing this on a Friday. I
Yeah.
just happened to be free today, not busy this morning. So I said, Jack, let's do this because there's not going to be anything happening over the weekend. Celtics don't play till next Thursday. And then we get some
Mhm.
news. So here we
Yeah,
are.
it's very convenient. Blake Griffin just got bought out by the Detroit Pistons. We don't know the details exactly. We do know that certain teams are interested. I had a list. The Lakers, Clippers, Nets, Heat, and Warriors are all listed as teams of interest. But we got some Celtics fans calling for Danny Ainge to
Celtics
sign
aren't on
Blake
the
Griffin.
list, huh?
They are not on the list. What do you
Now, is
think
it
of the
his
Blake?
teams of interest or teams that are interested in him?
These are teams that have expressed interest in Blake Griffin.
Okay.
So those five. And then Keith Smith tweeted out the Sixers, Suns, and Bucks could all also make sense. So Celtics are nowhere on the radar right now from, Mark Stein and Keith Smith. But do you think he would be a good fit on the Celtics? I have my opinion, but I want to hear yours first.
Um, so as it currently sits with his current performance this season, no. However, if he was to go play for the Celtics, I think you could see an uptick in his production. I think he wouldn't have a huge role. He might be someone that can get you scoring off the bench, maybe. He's not athletic like he used to be. I don't even think he's dunked this season yet. Um, I'm not completely against it. It's free. Okay, they don't have to lose anything except for maybe like
Money.
cutting someone that doesn't play. They don't have to trade any pieces, picks, anything like that. Do I think it's the best thing? No. But if you take in consideration that it's free, it goes up a little bit. Will it happen? Probably not. But I don't know. I'm not completely out on him because him coming to like a good team is different than him being on the Pistons. Dude, he didn't want to play for the Pistons. And who wants to play for the Pistons besides Jeremy Grant, I guess?
Yeah.
Like he didn't want to be there. He's not motivated. If he's on a team that can contend, whether it's the Celtics or any of the other teams you mentioned, he's not going to be inefficient. I don't think. I don't think he's not going to be motivated. Like he's going to want to win. Is he going to be the guy? First of all, I never think he was that great. I think he was kind of overrated in his prime, but that's just me. Um, but I mean, he's someone that can definitely help. Okay, the Celtics are lacking depth. I mean, there's really no risk to doing it if you're the Celtics, unless you've got something else lined up. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if they end up doing it. To conclude,
See, I feel like I have a very different
I
perspective
know
because
you do. I know you don't like it,
you mentioned one thing in
which
particular.
I'm happy because we can have a discussion or an
Yeah,
argument,
I
whatever.
mean, yeah, this could be a nice little debate. You mentioned one thing. Blake Griffin hasn't dunked this season.
Which is
Blake
true.
Griffin is a very, very, very average three-point shooter at peak, right? At peak, he's an average three-point shooter. The one thing I think he could add to the Celtics, he's a decent playmaker for the forward position. That doesn't mean he's a good playmaker overall, though. And realistically, if he's in Boston, he's not going to have the ball in his hands. He's not going to be a primary ball handler on the Celtics by any means. It's going to be Kemba, Jalen, and Jason over him by far, right? And even Pritchard, I take over him as a ball handler. Plus, you have to cut somebody. So let me ask you this: who do you cut if you sign Blake
Oh,
Griffin?
easy. It's either Waters
You can't cut
or
you can't cut Waters or Taco because they're two-way
why?
players. They're two-way players. So unless Blake Griffin signs a two-way contract, he can't fill that spot.
Okay, so Javante maybe.
But I feel like Javante will bring you. I don't think Javante's better than Blake Griffin. That's not what I'm saying. But is it worth it to cut him to add Blake Griffin if you're going to have to cut other pieces in a potential trade? You know what I'm saying? I just don't think the value of Blake Griffin is worth cutting somebody like that because I don't think he fits on this team well.
Maybe, I mean, the only reason I don't say Carson Edwards right away is just because of the contract. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, I don't know how all that works, but I know it's not a good thing to cut someone with money left on their contract or years left. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And if they
Um,
wanted to do something like this, Javante's contract became guaranteed February 24th. So if they'd cut him before that, they lose him for nothing, but they didn't. So that's why I feel like they wouldn't cut Javante. And maybe that's nothing because I feel like if they do cut somebody, it would be him or maybe Teague, but Teague's playing better right
Teague's
now.
actually playing decent now, so
I mean, I feel like Blake Griffin could be okay, but realistically, when I look at stuff to help the Celtics, I think, a wing that can shoot and defend, or a power forward that can defend, shoot, and is athletic. That sounds like Blake Griffin 3 years ago, not right now. Blake Griffin is like an okay shooter, kind of.
he's
He,
having a terrible season
yes.
efficiency wise.
And my biggest worry is I think he would play better on the Celtics than he did in Detroit, right? He didn't want to play in Detroit. That was clear. The athleticism's not there anymore. Or else he would have been doing maybe it's there and he was just hiding it to be an asshole. I
Dude,
don't
maybe
know,
he didn't
but
want to hurt himself. I feel like there's a lot of like I'm not saying that it's, why they should do it
yeah,
or shouldn't do it, but I mean there's a lot of conspiracy theories you can put together for someone that doesn't want to be on a team. I mean,
man.
let's think of some guys that like they were obviously selling when they were on a team they didn't want to be on.
I mean, Andre Iguodala straight
Harden,
up didn't play.
Harden,
Yeah, Harden, but
he
he was still
literally like
okay.
made himself look fat.
True, true, but he
So
was
he
still
didn't
like decent.
you got Iguodala who literally didn't
Didn't
play.
play.
Uh,
I can't think of any more like huge ones other than that though.
Off the top of my head, I can't. I'm sure historically there's plenty. If you're listening and you can think of it, leave a comment in the YouTube video or tweet us or whatever.
something. It's just I don't know. I don't think he fits well on the Celtics because I don't think. I mean, realistically, I don't think he fits well anywhere. I think the best place for him is Golden State because they don't have a ton of assets. He could catch lobs realistically from Steph Curry. I guess he could catch lobs here, but then you're like ruining it for uh, Time Lord. I don't
Are
know.
you ruining it for Time Lord, or you just have a double threat? You can throw it
No,
up. You can have both of them cut at the same time, and they can compete.
but this is if Blake Griffin can still catch lobs.
He
That's my
definitely
thing.
can, Jack. He's in the
Dude,
NBA.
he hasn't dunked this season. That's what he's known for. He's known for dunks, and he hasn't dunked once this season. I remember watching him in the Pistons game when they played the Celtics.
He
He
was really
just
bad.
he just stands on the perimeter. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't move. He just stands there. And maybe
But
part
how
of that
much of that
is
is effort?
yeah, that's the thing. But like at the same time, do you really want to trade for a guy who plays like that?
That's the thing. You're not trading. You're getting it for free.
Okay, do you really want to take a guy on the team that has effort problems? Like say he gets pissed off with the Celtics. What happens?
I realistically don't think he would get pissed off with the Celtics.
But if he did, though, like say he was mad, like, oh, my role's not big enough, and he gets a big ego.
Well, I
What is,
don't think he would come to the Celtics thinking he was going to have a massive role. If he wanted a
yeah,
big role, he would have just embraced his position in Detroit, but he wants to win, which is why he's not playing there. I mean, any team he goes to, Jack, he's not going to have a big role.
I guess so, yeah. I want to see him on the Suns. I think that would be fun. Him and CP3 again. That would entertain me. But
I saw someone say Philadelphia,
yeah,
Doc.
true. That's also true.
Who
The
knows, man?
Nets,
That's
DeAndre Jordan. Yeah.
fuck the Nets.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. It's interesting. I always think these things are interesting because I always wonder what goes through a guy's head when he's bought out like this. You know, I always wonder, like, oh, like, does he already have somewhere in mind?
Maybe we'll see it today. Realistically, we could see the
Somebody
news
said the
today.
Clippers again, like he would go back to the Clippers.
hmm Yeah,
Well, they're on the short list, right?
yeah, they're on the
Yeah.
short list.
So
So
he could
we'll
go
see.
back to the Clippers.
We'll see. There's
I
one
don't
more
know. I
thing.
wouldn't hate if I saw the Celtics signed him. I mean, it's just I feel like that's a very low risk, semi high reward play. I mean, you're not trading,
Depends on how much he wants to.
and the money isn't an issue. He's not making that massive contract. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
he could ask for a few mil. Like he might not sign for a minimum
Yeah, a
automatically.
few, but like Jack, it's not a lot. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
guess so.
whatever he was making. You know?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't despise it if he came here. I just think it's a bad idea. But there's one more thing I want to run by you before we go into All-Star stuff because that is this weekend. Um, Jeff Goodman on the Bob Bryan and Jeff Goodman podcast said the Celtics should look to trade Jaylen Brown. And I
They
just
should
want,
look to trade him.
Mhm.
I understand the take.
Mhm.
Because I haven't had the thought of trading him, but I thought to myself, like, watching these last couple games, because he's had a very reduced role um, since Kemba's kind of stepped in, and I think they've figured out the way they want that rotation or scoring to go. I think, and it's working this way with Kemba being somewhat the second option and Jaylen Brown being the third guy. So I understand that. And
Mhm.
Jaylen Brown seems to like he's kind of struggling getting acclimated to that, but it's not hurting as much as it was when it was Kemba that was struggling.
Yeah.
So I understand, and
His
I
thought
also
process was, is
his
there a team
value's
out
high,
there, yeah, that thinks he can be the number one guy? Yeah,
and he definitely can. And another thing I'd like to see the Celtics do with him is instead of Tatum and friends, I'd like to see Brown and friends.
I would love that too. I
I
think
think it
that
would
would
just be
work.
better.
I
But
agree.
getting back to the trade, his value's probably high. You could probably get something good in return.
He said Beal. He said specifically Beal.
Specifically, Beal.
I don't
Interesting.
like it. I don't
You
like
don't
it.
like it?
No. It's a Philadelphia 76ers move, in my opinion.
I think you're right about that.
It's
I
rushing.
think
Like, but
Beal's
yeah.
having an insane season. Unbelievable, right? He's maybe the best. He's the top scorer in the league. He might. People are saying he's the best scorer in the league, despite the numbers. Uh, it definitely doesn't hurt to bring that to the Celtics. But I
It hurts the
personally,
defense. It
I
hurts the
I
defense a lot.
I personally don't like it because
Mhm.
one, Jaylen Brown's too young to trade. I think it's silly. Um, I don't think it really helps as much as it, like you said, defensively it hurts. I said it doesn't hurt, but like, I mean, it does. I think you gain a lot offensively, but dude, look at the Nets. I mean, the Nets are doing good now, but
Mhm.
like they don't play any defense.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
mean,
want that's not a Brad Stevens type team. They need
mhm,
defense.
mhm.
And I think Jaylen Brown's fine. Dude,
He's
he's having the
more
best
efficient,
season of his career.
more efficient than Bradley Beal. That's all I'm saying.
If he's more efficient than I mean,
A lot of
then
people.
that settles it for me.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
well,
I
Jalen
I
Brown's very clearly more efficient than Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's not having a relatively efficient season, I'm pretty sure. I can Google the stats for you to fact check myself, but he's shooting 45 and 37.7 from three, so it's not bad.
he
But
likes playing in
Jalen
the
Brown,
Garden, that's for sure.
yeah, Jalen Brown's shooting 47 and 37, so I guess very similar. I just knew Bradley Beal was shooting like 33 from three earlier this season, so I guess
No,
he's
I
picked it
mean,
up.
I don't think it's worth it, man. You can
Oh wait, I know I was reading career numbers. I'm an idiot. No, Brown's shooting 50 and 39, and Beal is shooting 48 and 33. Yeah, okay, I'm right. I was
yeah,
reading.
no, there's no reason to do that. The efficiency is what matters here.
Yeah.
In terms of the role Jaylen Brown has, he has to be efficient in that role. If you bring in Beal, you're going to have Kemba have to slide back down to the third scoring option, which I don't think he was comfortable with because ever since he's kind of been lifted up, maybe that's not a strategic change, and maybe it's just the way his play has been, and he's been able to elevate to that second option.
Hmm.
But I mean, when you have Jaylen Brown being efficient, you don't need to bring someone else in. You need efficiency. You don't need volume.
Hmm. I agree, and it ruins the timeline. Like I know you don't like the timeline talk, but realistically, Brown and Tatum is the future of the
Well,
Celtics.
that's something that's the one you kind of have to agree with because those two guys are under contract for the next 4 years.
Hmm.
Brown, 5 for Tatum. Um, and then you've got Beal, who's on there for 3. He would 1,000% resign though because of Tatum.
Yeah.
Um, but age wise, I mean, you have at least 5 years with these guys where they're probably only going to get better every single year.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown has gotten better every year, and it's been a significant jump every year,
100%.
except for maybe the Kyrie season.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But
that was scuffed.
aside from that, he has been significantly better every season. These two guys have potential to be your next Bird and McHale playing together for a decade or however long, and you can bring in different pieces around them. That is the
That's
timeline
the
that doesn't
key.
matter to me.
Hmm.
Whatever's around them doesn't matter to me.
I think that's going to be the key because realistically speaking, right, by the time Tatum and Brown's contract extensions are up, right, by the time 4 or 5 years down the line, realistically speaking, Kemba's going to be off the books. They're going to have to re-sign some of these smaller guys, but Marcus Smart may or may not be in Boston, may or may not be on a big salary.
I think he stays. I
They
think
could,
he
but they
likes
could
it too much to stay.
figure it out a way to bring another max guy to Boston, realistically, right? They
One,
could figure out the contracts to bring another guy in with those two to form a big three by that time, is what I'm saying.
let's look into the crystal ball, Jack, okay?
Hmm.
So, my one hypothesis I have is Marcus will not demand a lot of money. One, if he does, they can pay him because of bird rights. Two, um, all right, so he likes it here a lot, man. He likes it here. It's where he's really grown up as a person. He people fucking love him. He's probably gonna have his jersey retired if they have success if he stays,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
He's the unofficial captain of the team. They won't say it, but that's the agreement amongst everybody. I don't think Danny lets him walk because he's too rare of an asset and he's valuable. And you agree, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it's not a smart move to lose him. Just look at how
Nice pun.
inconsistent they've been without him.
Hmm.
Okay, so number 2, not moving on from Marcus, Kemba Walker. If Kemba enjoys it here, not sure if he does because people really shit on him a lot, but I'd imagine he does because they're
Hmm.
winning or they have been successful. Um, I could see if he continues in the trajectory somewhat down that he is, maybe he takes a pay cut. Thought the same about Al Horford though, so I could absolutely be wrong. But he
Yeah.
could take a pay cut, a reduced role, maybe a sixth man in the future, instant offense off the bench.
Hmm.
Um, just think about it. It depends how committed to the guys around Tatum and Brown are to
Hmm.
winning, and I
You all,
understand if they're not.
you also have to think about paying the other guys because realistically, right, guys like Peyton Pritchard, Robert Williams at that point are gonna want money and they'll get money. So the Celtics would have to either pay them, let them walk, or let older guys like Kemba walk. So that's also gonna be a debate at that point, I think.
That is, like I
Which
said,
is
I Kemba has made plenty of money. He has made plenty of money throughout his career.
Yeah,
He is someone that he seems like a team guy. He definitely loves that he's not having to carry a skeleton crew around.
like Charlotte. Yeah.
So I could definitely see it. I could definitely
Hmm.
see a pay cut if things go well. If, people stop shitting on him. I don't even know if he cares about that. He seems like a pretty happy dude, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. But I mean, he's someone. He seems to have a good attitude. Like I said, thought the same about Horford. Might have been right if he knew about Kemba, but he didn't. So he got paid. Who knows, man?
Hmm.
Horford got a chance to go to a good team and get paid.
Yeah. Yeah. So good for him. But yeah. I mean, it's all gonna come down to what happens in a few years. I had another thought in mind, but I can't exactly remember what I was trying to think of. Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. So let's move on to All-Star Weekend, man. So there's four events going on. There's the normal three, skills contest, three-point contest, slam dunk contest, and then there's a knockout competition between creators, and then obviously we have the All-Star game. So we'll talk a
Did
little
we
bit
talk
about
about
each
this
one.
creator thing already? Did I talk about it with you or did I talk about it with someone else?
Briefly, I brought it up to you, the whole thing. So it was
Okay.
probably that you're remembering. But let me run you down what's happening. It's a $100,000 knockout competition. And the people competing are Mark Phillips, who I think you know, but you don't know his name. Have you seen the clips on like he does basketball skits, right? So he did the LeBron one where he's like, "The Nets got James Harden, man. I'm 36." I'm like, and LeBron retweeted it and everything. So
Oh
he
yeah,
does,
okay, I know what you're
yeah.
talking.
So he does that. MMG, who's a Madden YouTuber, he's funny. I don't know if you know who
The
that is.
hell, what they got a Madden guy going for? But go on.
He's just because he won a golf competition they did. They brought in a few creators for like this golf thing, like closest to the hole, and
Who's
he won
they?
House of Highlights.
Okay,
So
all right.
he won that competition. So I think they're bringing him in for that. Agent Zero, I know you know who that is. He's a 2K YouTuber.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
agent.
Agent. Yep, Agent Zero. Duke Dennis, another 2K YouTuber.
Fucking agent.
Yeah, yeah. So
I gotta tell my boy Greg about that. He likes agent.
Agent and Duke Dennis, both in it. Fun fact: I saw Agents. They all sent in clips for like TNT's crew to react to, and Agent sent in a miss. Just to show off his form. He like bricked the three, but he sent in the clip anyway. So he's a moron. Kenny Beecham, King of the Fourth Quarter. I love him. My favorite YouTuber, but he's in it. Jenna Bandy, Jack Settleman, and Desmond Johnson. All three of which I don't recognize the name.
Are they
So
from TikTok?
I think they're like basketball, like Instagram slash YouTubers as well, stuff like that. So I don't know exactly. I know
The
some of the
Instagram
main
people are
guys.
the worst, man. I hate Instagram, and I don't know how much I've talked about this like on like a show, but
Hmm.
like literally Instagram is the most annoying thing. It's just people saying, "Hey, look at me." Like it's annoying that they pay people like sponsor them. Like I don't know. I hate that the companies buy into Instagram and like fuel these people that don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean it's a good platform. It's just social media at this point, man. But yeah, I mean I don't really know enough
Yeah, but
about
Twitter,
competitors.
you're adding value. Twitter, you're contributing thoughts. Instagram, you're
Yeah.
just standing there and taking pictures.
Mhm. Oh
You're
yeah,
not
yeah,
adding anything to anybody's day except for maybe like they like the way you look. Like if you're making an impact on Twitter, you're either really funny, you're sharing good thoughts, you're making good content. Instagram, you don't do that. You
yeah.
just take
No,
pictures.
I understand the sentiment. It's interesting, but I'm not a huge fan of Instagram either. I don't think I've posted on mine in a long time, but I don't know enough about all these guys to talk about who I think is going to win. It's going to be knockout though, so it'll be fun.
I hope Agent wins.
Yeah, the guys on TNT,
It'll
so
probably be Duke Dennis. I'm pretty sure like he's actually good at basketball.
Shaq and them pick the order. I can tell you the order right now if I skip to the end of this video real quick. It doesn't show the whole order because the video cuts off, but King of the Fourth Quarter is first, then Jack Settleman, who I don't know, then Duke Dennis is third, Jenna Bandy, Agent Zero is fifth, and then three guys haven't been put in place by the end of this video. Yeah, so it
Speaking of the
should be
TNT
interesting.
guys, do you see the documentary they have?
No, I've heard of it though. I think I've heard that it's
They
happening.
had the Ernie Johnson part yesterday after the late game,
Okay.
and then they have Kenny today, Friday, Charles tomorrow, Saturday, and Shaq Sunday, but I don't know what time on Sunday because of the
Okay.
All-Star game. But I know Kenny and Chuck, if you're listening, it's probably not Friday anymore, um, are at 9 p.m.
That's dope.
Very, very good. Enjoyed it very much. I watched the Ernie Johnson part yesterday.
That's sick.
You should watch it, Jack. You would definitely like it.
I will. I'll check that out. Did you also see Candace Parker absolutely roasting Shaq because he's an idiot?
No.
He is trying to so Candace Parker is on TNT with like Shaq, this other guy, and Dwayne Wade now, right?
Yeah, she's on like the B team. Well,
Yeah, but
that is the B team. I'm
she
not saying
talks
just
like
her.
she talks like she's on the A team, dude. She makes Shaq and like Chuck look like
Talks.
morons.
Oh, like
Like
she's very
talks about
intelligent.
basketball, yeah.
Yeah.
Like she
Well,
like
that's not why they're there. And if, like literally, if
yeah,
you
I know,
watch
I
the
know.
thing, I'm not just saying you, but like in the
Yeah,
documentary, they literally say like, dude, like we're not necessarily here to talk about basketball. Like we're here to have fun. Like that's kind of the way it goes.
yeah.
So like, I mean, I haven't seen it.
Shaq
I'm not
was
bashing
trying to
Candace
talk
Parker,
about
but she's not doing her job right. Have fun.
yeah.
Stop
He
making
was
fun of Shaq.
trying. They were like analyzing like pick and rolls, right? They were like Shaq was like, "Well, they need to rotate here," and she's like, "But then they'll just shoot the three," because she's trying to explain how like everybody can shoot threes now. Because I think they're talking about the Nuggets, because like Jokic can just pull up from 30 feet and he'll drain it, right? And so Shaq was like, "Well, they just need to rotate earlier," and then she goes, "But then Jokic gets an open three," and he goes, "Well, then they need to do this quicker." And it was just a funny back and forth, like for them trying to you know figure it out. But also the Nets are regarded as strong contender for Blake Griffin. Um, and the Celtics have also expressed interest, league sources
They
say.
have.
Yeah. So
Who's this? Woj or
that's Mark
Mark
Stein.
Stein?
Yeah, Mark Stein. So
Celtics,
they
man. I'm telling you, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
uh
I know not everyone loves it, and I'm not over the moon about it, but if I saw it, I wouldn't be mad. I would
yeah,
be all right with it.
I guess I wouldn't be too mad. I don't know if I'd be ecstatic,
I
but
just don't think it can hurt you.
yeah.
It's very low risk. I mean, you're not trading for them. I
Yeah,
love it. It's
that's what
free.
I like. Sam's big on free. But yeah, let's go through the rest of the competitions. I'm gonna go in order of I least care about to most care about, right? So I'm
All
gonna
right.
skills competition, dunk contest, 3-point contest, then I'm gonna read you the All-Star
You
team.
have the skills competition below the dunk contest? Jack, they shouldn't even have a dunk contest anymore. They never get anybody to do the dunk contest. I was going to save this till we got there. But I can't believe you would disrespect the skills competition. Maybe the most entertaining out of all of the competitions.
Yes, but it's the least entertaining to talk about because the
Just
dunk
talk
contest we can talk about how shit it is, and that's entertaining because it's terrible.
who's in the skills competition. Chris
Exactly. You
Paul's
don't
in
even
it.
know.
Chris
Yeah.
Paul's in it. Jokic is in it. Sabonis is in it. There's another white guy. There's three white guys, three not white
Yeah,
guys.
skills competition: Robert Covington, Luka Doncic, Chris
What the
Paul,
fuck
Julius
is fucking
Randle,
Covington in there?
Domantas Sabonis, Nikola Vucevic. So there you go for the skills competition. I think Chris Paul's a lock. I mean, he's a beast.
Pretty
Chris
sure
Paul's
he's
gonna
like been in it 5 times and he never won.
really,
Yep.
huh? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I
I,
mean, I
I'm
guess
see. I think the skills competition is just the most fun. They do everything. Like that is like the ultimate. You know what they need to bring back is the shooting stars, but they don't have that. You know what I'm talking about where
yeah,
they
that was
shoot
great.
from other spots. That was like the best one. They don't have it anymore.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that one. That was good. I think that was probably my favorite as well. Chris Bosh and co dominating. That's what I remembered. But yeah, I mean, skills competition. I'd pick Chris Paul. Do you have a pick? I guess out of those guys.
Yeah, let's pick Luca just to be devil's advocate.
All right, fair
He's
enough.
definitely a better shooter
Hmm.
than Chris Paul. You know, like
Yeah.
thinking about like when they get to the end, like he might be able to pull up from really deep.
What's Chris Paul shooting from three this season? I'm intrigued now.
It's
39.
it's not that he's a bad shooter. It's just he probably doesn't take the volume. You know,
No,
he doesn't
yeah,
take all
that's fair.
the threes.
That's fair. My sleeper pick is Robert Covington. But
What is he? I
anyways,
think
dunk
he'll win.
contest. I want you to try to guess who's in the dunk contest. Do you know? Because it's terrible.
Yeah, it's Anthony Simon, some guy from the fucking Pacers, and Toppin.
Yep. Cassius Stanley, who is very athletic, underrated, but
Didn't they
doesn't.
used to have like way more people in the dunk contest? Why
It
do they
used
only
to
have
be.
3 people?
It used to be four because everyone else said no this year, so they didn't have enough for four.
What about like way in the past? It used to be like 6, like
Oh,
way
maybe.
back.
I don't think. I don't know. I've always known it to be four, but everyone else said no this year, so I have very low expectations for the dunk contest this
They
year. I
need
think
to
it's gonna be
not do the dunk contest anymore. They need to find something else, whether it's
one on one. Do a one on one tournament.
one-on-ones. I don't know why people don't want to do dunk contests. Maybe they don't want to hurt themselves.
Yeah,
I also feel like it's a lack of creativity. Like you've done the dunk contest for so long that you can
there's
only
nothing
be
else to
so
do.
creative. And then
Yeah,
if you do something that someone's already done, you get flack for it because you're not being creative.
yeah. There's
So
nothing
dunk
else they can.
contest has run its course, man. They need to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's just
Do
meh.
one-on-one, do horse, do something.
Yeah, that would be good. But do you have a pick for the dunk contest? I guess I'll go
No, I don't care.
Simons. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really give a
The
shit
winner
either.
is someone who doesn't watch the dunk contest.
Yeah. 3-point contest, on the other hand, is stacked.
See, this is the one I care
Absolutely
about.
stacked. So Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum. Absolutely stacked. Do you have a front runner right now?
I mean, you have to pick Curry, dude. Curry's one
Yeah.
of the best shooters ever, if not the best, probably the best.
Curry
Um,
shooting 41% on 11.7 attempts this season, which is ridiculous.
Curry probably the second best point guard of all time behind Magic.
Yeah, I'd agree. Sleeper
Devin
picks,
Booker's
maybe
a good
Jalen
one.
Brown.
I think Jalen Brown's a good sleeper pick. I don't think Tatum has a fucking shot because he shoots too slow. His form is just not meant for this contest. You know what I'm saying? Like
Who, Jason Tatum?
Tatum is not
Yeah.
meant for this. He's not a catch and shoot guy. Even though like when he does catch and shoot, he's not bad, right?
Mhm.
But and I wish he would catch and shoot more, but that's besides the point. Um, I can't imagine him taking the ball off the rack time and time again and like being successful at it. Whereas Jalen Brown, I feel like that is his game is catch and shoot when
Yeah.
he's not, the guy out there, when he doesn't have to be the primary option. When he's a catch and shoot, he's money. So Jalen Brown, very sleeper pick. Hopefully he's going to have his money rack. If they do a money rack now, I don't know how they do it. His money rack is going to be in the right corner.
Yeah.
Or left corner from if you're at the top of the keep it right if you're under the basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be good. So is your pick Steph Curry, though, to win?
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, I got to go with the same. Devin Booker won it last year, though, so I guess that's a sleeper pick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can bet against Steph Curry realistically. Who's
the last one? Levine?
Yeah, Levine shooting
comes in last.
Levine shooting ridiculously well from three. I don't know why you hate Levine so much. It kind of baffles me, but whatever.
Because he was a really inefficient player for a while, and now he's starting to become efficient. But
he's not just efficient; he's absurdly efficient, Sam.
Yeah, I know, but like, he's burned into my brain as the one-man show on a bad team that's inefficient.
I guess I don't know. He's leading his team to a play-in spot right now, so
they need to get rid of the play-in too. I don't like that.
I do. I think
it's not that I dislike the event itself. Like I like that they have like a play-in tournament, but dude, like that's 60% of the league making the playoffs. Like that's not okay.
But
like,
realistically, those last 4 teams, like 7 through 10, are all shit. Like real in the East,
they are
especially.
Shit.
Yeah,
I agree.
It just brings more entertainment. But I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to the All-Star teams. Have you heard like the formats yet?
I know.
Or who's on each team?
LeBron needs to stay the fuck away from Jaylen Brown. And poor Tatum has to play with Kyrie again.
Yeah.
You can't win. I don't even want to root for either team. I don't like. I mean, I wish LeBron and Kyrie were on the same team so I could root against them.
So do you know the starting lineups? I'll read you each one and then you can tell me which one's better.
Let me do it.
All right, you want to guess?
It's LeBron, Giannis, Luka, Curry, and don't tell me. LeBron, Giannis. Who am I missing? Let's go on the other side because I know it's Kyrie, Beal, Tatum, Kawhi, and Jokic is on. Oh, Embiid is on this side. He's with LeBron. No.
No, Embiid's with Durant or Kyrie. Jokic is with the rest of them. I forgot about Jokic. So yeah, which side is better? Do you have a preference?
LeBron's team is better.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's infinitely better. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to root against, Giannis, Steph, Luka, Jokic, LeBron. That's just a ridiculous 5. And not that Beal and Kyrie and Tatum aren't good, but like those are.
Will Sam watch the All-Star game? He doesn't know yet. But if I do watch the All-Star game, what I want to see is Brown and Tatum going at each other. That's going to be my favorite thing. It's literally going to be all I care about.
Actually, what do you care about?
Brown and Tatum going at each other. Because they're on opposite teams.
Yeah.
There's going to be a stretch in that game where they're guarding each other and like they're both like isoing each other. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen.
That'll be interesting.
Are they doing the same kind of format as last year where it's I think 3/4 regular and then the last quarter is first to a number?
I believe so, yeah.
I like that. All right, maybe I will watch because that was fun. Last year was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that was entertaining. I'm pretty sure they're doing that. I don't see why they wouldn't be, but
I also wish they wouldn't have all-star jerseys. I wish they like the way they used to do it where you just wear your team's jersey.
That'd be so confusing to watch though. Like
would it really though?
Yes.
If one team wore their whites and the other team wore coloreds.
Yeah, I think it would still be much more.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
You play pickup basketball, Jack. You know who's on your team.
Yeah, but like visually, it's not great. I
You
just
mean
think
for a
it's
fan?
yeah, like watching the game on TV.
I guess.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
it's just much easier. Yeah, but anyways, the benches are for Team LeBron, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Dame Lillard, Chris Paul, Sabonis, Simmons, and for Team KD,
Simmons cannot be an all-star.
who?
Simmons.
Oh. Durant is Booker, Harden, Levine, Mitchell, Randall, Vucevic, Zion Williamson. Team LeBron is just so much better, I think, than Durant's team. I don't know why. I just think it's like infinitely
I
better.
think if Durant was playing, it'd be a little different. But
And Davis is hurt too, so Davis is on Durant, but it's
why did he pick Davis?
I don't know if he actually picked Davis or it was just like he was placed there, but
Well, it
yeah,
doesn't make any sense. Why would they put two hurt players on the same team?
he's just
I'm
listed
not
there.
mad at you. I'm mad at whoever's stupid idea that was because I saw the graphic. And I was like, why is that team so much longer than the other? Like, if you have two hurt guys, just put them on opposite teams. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it really makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of
Now
whack.
I'm angry. It
Uh,
just pure stupidity from whoever was in charge of that.
do you see the Jazz players got picked last?
I did, and LeBron was like, "Yeah, like nobody wants to play with Utah or something like that." That was actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
It's definitely a spite thing because they're first in the West, though. They're
yeah,
Lakers are gonna get fucked down the line. You watch those two dudes. Well, I don't know about Gobert. He kind of sucks.
yeah.
He
I mean,
doesn't suck, but he's not a takeover kind of guy. He's just like a defensive anchor. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That he's
yeah, yeah.
different. But
LeBron
Donovan
was
Mitchell
like
might
nobody.
have a little bit
Yeah,
of taking it personally here.
LeBron was like nobody plays with the Jazz in 2K. Let's be real here. So I thought
Play
that was
dudes
funny.
with these guys all the time online. Always blow them out. Usually
Yeah,
using the '86 Celtics because that's cheese. For some reason, they're a tier two team online.
the Jazz.
Literally, no, the Celtics.
Oh,
The
okay.
Larry Bird Celtics are tier two.
Yeah. Hey,
Unbelievable.
easy wins, but I don't think there's anything else to talk about really. I mean, just the Blake Griffin to the Celtics thing, but we kind of covered that.
Blake Griffin is just not the worst thing. I don't think, unless like you had like three options and he was the worst one you could get, and like that's the one you get, then it's bad. But like you don't have Blake Griffin, and you could get Blake Griffin, and if he doesn't play good, then you can just not play Blake Griffin. I mean, there's I don't know. I mean, you're losing out on what Javante minutes every once in a while.
Mhm. I guess so. I feel like he would take away from Shemi and Grant minutes more than Javante minutes. So.
Well, no, I mean you have to cut somebody, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Realistically, yeah, you're right. So, I don't know.
It's the worst thing in the world if he's taking minutes away from Shemi and Grant, though, Jack. Really, like realistically,
Yeah, yeah. Because what you want from those guys is shooting, and Blake Griffin doesn't give you that. That's the argument I have, at least.
it's a good
Like,
argument, to be fair.
like Grant and Shemi are pretty efficient 3-point shooters, and Blake Griffin sucks. He can't shoot. He's okay, but he that's all he does in Detroit. At least he just stays at the 3-point line.
Who's
And
better,
if you
Daniel
want,
Tice or Blake Griffin right now? I have an answer, and I just am curious what you think.
probably Daniel Tice.
Yeah, I think so too. I was thinking, I was like, well, maybe he takes away Tice minutes, and I was like,
Yeah, Shams just said the Nets are the leaders to sign Griffin anyway, so he'll probably be in Brooklyn with the rest of them.
yeah, there
Which
should be a limit of like how
good
much you can
place.
like get people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they cut the Nets off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got for the day. I don't think you said you didn't have anything else.
Yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for listening to From the Rafters. You guys can follow us at Bannertown USA. I'm at Jack Simone NBA, and Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for listening so much. If you're listening, then watch the YouTube video. If you're watching the YouTube video, then listen on Spotify, Apple, whatever. Um, that's our show for today. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That is our show for today. Bye.